All in all, it's Saturday morning, it's 8 o'clock, it's freezing, and last night we had snow, although it's now turned to rain, so it's just going to end up a mess. Muddy, wet, miserable mess. But anyway, that's by the by. At least it won't stop us getting on. I got the silo crab dropped off the other night. It was dark by the time I got there, so there wasn't really a lot I could do to show you what it looked like at the end. Needless to say, it should be good to go for another couple of years and another 1,000 miles. I've got back to building crop rollers, which is what we set off at the beginning of the week doing. There's 2 to build. We need to get them out the door before Christmas. I've also got to go to Dorset next week. I've got some Lactaligns to go and put on a parlour down Huddersfield way. I've got quite a bit to try and shoehorn in before Christmas. Oh, it's now turned to snow. So it was rain 20 seconds ago, it's now snow. We'll get these crop rollers done and then it's full-on LAMMA preparation, ready for the 10th and 11th of January down at the NEC. So I always think we're quite organised and we have everything we need, but then it comes to it and realise actually, no, we've still got loads to do, not a lot of time to do it, but we'll get it done. Afternoon all, it's 4 o'clock on Sunday. This morning I was spray painting the crop rollers, and right now I'm sat at Strensham Services on the M5. I'm heading to a Lactalign installation to just update some bits. It was a job that I needed to get done before Christmas. Christmas is a week today. As much as I don't like working on Sunday, I try not to, try to spend it at home with the girls. Today was one of those days where it just had to get on and get down there. So aiming to be down there for 6 o'clock. When they finish milking, and then I've got between 6 and half 8 to get my job done, and then try and get as far back up towards home tonight as possible. I won't make it all the way, but I'll have a good go at getting as far as possible safely to be back home for the morning to then get them crop rollers put together and delivered. It's a bit of a miserable Sunday afternoon. It looks like evening, but it's still, well, yeah, like I said, it's 4 o'clock, so it's not night yet. I've just stopped at Strensham for full fat Coke because there's not much point in messing about with the other stuff. We'll get on and get down to Dorset. So I've done it. I've done 2.5 hours. I've swapped all these. These are serrated stainless steel nuts and they were coming loose. And I'll show you one here. So changed them for these nylon nuts. So yeah, cows are just coming in for milking. Next milking, it's 8:30 Sunday night, so that's a good do. Got it done, so now I can get back on the road and get back up home. Try and get home tonight, but pretty unlikely. I'm home now after yesterday's trip to Dorset, so I just thought I'd show you this. So that was the trip that I did. So it was 312 miles each way, and that's what I changed, all these bolts and these serrated nuts. The reason I tried using these was because they were slightly shallower and it meant I could use shorter bolts, but actually we need to use nylon nuts. It might seem daft to go all that way just for the sake of that bag of bolts, but the reality is that's part of the job, to keep customers happy and to make sure the product's doing the job it's meant to do and not making work, is just getting on and doing stuff like that. So it was 630 mile. I set off at 12 o'clock yesterday, got there for 6 o'clock. I had 2.5 hours to get the job done, and I got it done with about 20 minutes to spare. And then I sort of set off back home last night, stopped at various points for a sleep, and I got back home at 8 o'clock this morning. So it took me 11 hours to get home, but it was with stopping and what have you, it was the right thing to do. So yeah, I'm just unloading the car into the back of the pickup. I went in Lindsay's car just because it's an easier ride in this, and I nearly didn't get to the farm because the last 300 yards. I wish I'd got my camera out, to be fair, but it was just a river. They'd had that much rain down there, and it's all on the bottom. The farm was at the bottom of a hill. The whole road was just a river, and I set off to go through it and then backed out. And the farmer landed about 5 minutes after I got there and said, "Oh, did I come in through the farmhouse?" And I said, "Well, I set off, but I backed out." He said, "Yeah," but he had come in that way and nearly in his pickup, and he'd thought twice about doing it. So there was another way into the farm. So the way all the tractors and the wagons go in, it's not a hard road, but it's you can pick your way through and you can get in not so bad. So I went in that way instead, which was the right thing to do. Otherwise, it would have been a right mess. There was a ditch on one side of the road that I knew about, and the road was tarmacked, but if it'd gone off, yeah, that wouldn't have been good. So thankfully we got there, got the job done and got home. Just show you this, that's the serrated nut, so it's got like these little things to try and stop it coming loose, and that's the nylock nut, so that bit of plastic locks on the threads to stop it coming loose. The reason for using these is because the locking bit was nearer the bracket, whereas the nylock was further away, and it just meant that I could put the bolts in the other way round, and it made it look a bit smarter, but turns out it was a bad idea. So all the bolts have been turned around the other way. That's the crop roller frames made, and all the parts, that's them all down there. And the crop roller, the roller part has already been painted. So that's them two there. So I'll get them cleaned up and sorted for painting. That's the two crop rollers put together. So I just thought I'd put one on a tractor for you to see. So yeah, these are going to AWSM Farms up on the A66 for next harvest. So yeah, that's a good deal. We'll get them dropped off. And yeah, bash on.